Hello everyone, this video is in continuation to our videos on animal kingdom. Till now we have discussed till annelids, we have completed till phylum annelids, and we have done in our last video we did the first example earthworm, the most common one. In this video we'll talk about Nereis and leech. Fine, we'll talk about the significant characteristics. All the characteristics remain common in all the examples of annelids or any other phylum for that matter, but there are certain characters which are specific for a particular organism. So we'll be talking about Nereis and leech here, and in our next video, we'll start with arthropods. So now we are going to start with the the second example. First for earthworm, which we have done, Nereis. Nereis, first of all, it is segmented. The most common characteristic feature of annelids, that it is segmented. Fine, it is segmented and the number of segments can vary. Now if we see the structure of Nereis, it has two significant features which have now appeared in Nereis. I'll write it with a different pen. One, that it has special locomotory and respiratory structures which are present here. Earthworm mein there were just certain seta for movement, but herein you will find that there are structures known as, I'll just use another pen, known as parapodia. Now this is a significant feature of Nereis, and these parapodia are responsible for locomotion and also respiration. Fine, so this is a significant characteristic feature of Nereis. Plus this is the first one which has developed sessile eyes. Now this is also a significant feature of the annelid Nereis, which you will not find in others. Now we'll make the diagram and simultaneously we'll talk. Now when we talk about the structure of Nereis, as I told you, the body is segmented. So when we see the structure, it has this first segment and then we have multiple other segments. I'll just draw the segments, and then we have other segments, and finally we'll draw the last segment, and then we have the last segment, and these are the structures arising from it. Now we'll talk about each segment one by not each segment, but we'll talk about specific segments as we have discussed in earthworm in the same manner. The first segment is known as prostomium. Fine. The other segments I have talked about the structure known as parapodia. Now from the second segment on, they have these locomotory and respiratory structures known as parapodia. They are in pairs, present on both the sides, help in locomotion and respiration in case of Nereis. So, and the last segment has these structures known as anal cirri. Fine. So these are the structures which are visible in a Nereis, in the structure of a Nereis. But when I specifically draw prostomium, we find certain additional structures found here. We'll just draw the diagram. Suppose it's a magnified view of prostomium. The first segment, I'll write here prostomium. Fine. So on this prostomium, you will find that it has two pair of these sessile eyes. It has two prostomial tentacles, and it has two prostomial palps present here. Fine. So these are some structures which are present. I'll label them. This is prostomial tentacle. This is prostomial palps, and these are pair of sessile eyes. So this is the structure of prostomium in a magnified view. So I'll just write here the important segments and the important structures present there and their functions for your reference. You can use them for your notes. So when we start with, first of all, the first feature, the first segment would be, first segment is called prostomium. Fine. And this prostomium has two pair of sessile eyes, and it has two prostomial tentacles. Fine. Then it has two prostomial palps. Now these prostomial tentacles and prostomial palps, both of these, they are sensory in nature. They act as sensory structures. The prostomial palps and tentacles both are sensory in nature. Then when we talk about the next segments, we are not talking about all these segments. So other segments have parapodia, okay? And we have written here that they are responsible for locomotion and respiration. So we know the function of parapodia. Third is, last segment has anal cirri. Now these anal cirri, they are also sensory in nature. Fine. So if I jot down, if I collectively tell you, so in this nereis you will find that in the first segment these are these structures. The structures which are present here all are sensory in nature. Last segment has a structure anal cirri, sensory in nature, and the middle segments, they have structures known as parapodia, responsible for locomotion and respiration. So this is about the segments, which is a unique feature about, these are all unique features which are restricted to nereis only. Now we are going to talk about a specific feature, that is reproduction. We have certain important characters related to reproduction in nereis. So we'll talk about it. Listen very carefully. In a general state, matlab when it's generally present, it is asexual plus it is burrowing. Fine. It makes burrows at the seabeds, on the seabeds and all. So it is burrowing and it is asexual in nature when it is not reproducing. Now during reproductive phase, what happens? How does it reproduce? This nereis will convert into heteronereis. So the reproductive phase is known as heteronereis. Fine. Now this heteronereis is this is a very important question. Name the reproductive structure of nereis. That's known as heteronereis. Now in heteronereis, if we specifically talk about it, it has, I'll just use this space, it has asexual part and sexual part. Asexual part of heteronereis is known as atoke, whereas sexual part is known as epitoke. Fine. One more important thing, the conversion of nereis into heteronereis for reproduction is known as epitoky. So I'll write here, conversion of asexual stage or phase into sexual stage is called epitoky. Fine. So this is about reproduction. Generally nereis is burrowing. Yes, one more thing, heteronereis, it is free living and it is not burrowing. It's sexual and it's free living, wherein it starts developing the sexual reproductive structures in it, or they start maturing. Half the portion is asexual in Heteronereis, half the portion is sexual. Asexual part is atoke, sexual part is epitoke. Sexual part is the one where testes and ovaries are present, and then it is free living, and also it's not burrowing now. Fine, it's free living, can swim freely in water. Conversion of asexual state into sexual is known as epitoke. One important thing more, that the development is indirect. Development is indirect. That means larva is formed, and the larva is a trachophore larva. Fine. So these are certain characteristic features of Nereis. We have discussed about all the segments and the structures present in them. We have talked about a very important topic, the Heteronereis. What is it and how is it formed? What are the terms related to it? And then we have discussed that the development is indirect, larval stage is formed. Now we are going to talk about the second or the third example of annelids, that is leech. Now leech, again, it is segmented, but it is metameric segmentation, but here number of segments is fixed. Leech has only 33 segments present in it. Fine. So this is a significant feature. It has 33 segments present in it. Zyada nahi, kam nahi, 33. So if you see the structure, so it has these, 1 to 33 segments present here. I'll just not count, so this is the structure. Now when we talk about leech, there are all the other characters remain the same, annelids wale. But there are certain significant characteristics related to leech also. The first one out of this is that it has clitellum. The clitellum in leech is not permanently present. Earthworm may we did that. There is a structure known as clitellum which will then come out of the earthworm, and then the fertilization will take place and earthworm will be released. It acts as a cocoon. But herein, in case of leech, clitellum is not permanently present, appears during reproduction season. During reproductive phase, during reproductive seasons, this clitellum appears and then it degenerates. It's not present throughout. This is one significant characteristic feature. Second feature is that the leech has a true coelom, but this true coelom is only restricted to excretory and reproductive parts, and उसके अलावा जो parts हैं, rest of the body is filled with botryoidal tissue, This is something very important, a very important feature related to leeches. What is botryoidal tissue? Botryoidal tissue is the tissue which fills in almost all part of the leech except for a reproductive and excretory part, which is filled with true coelom or which is lined with the true coelom. So this is also a significant characteristic feature. Then the next feature about leech is that it has an anticoagulant. We'll talk about it. Coagulant hirudin present in saliva. And I'll write one more thing and then we'll discuss. Also, a technique related to leech is known as phlebotomy. Okay. Botomy. I'll talk about these now. Now, Till here it's clear that the half part is true coelom, half is filled with botryoidal fluid. Now it has an anticoagulant present in it known as hirudin, which is there in its saliva. Now what happens, leeches, when they get stuck to the body of any organism, their saliva, it has an anticoagulant present in it. When they secrete their saliva or when they are hooked up to any organism, they will put that saliva in the body, and the blood will not coagulate, because blood has a tendency that as soon as it moves out of the body of organism, it starts coagulating. So it does not allow the blood to coagulate. Plus it also, you know, makes that part, you can say, gives a kind of anesthesia to the local anesthesia. That means that part becomes numb and the person is unable to feel that the leech is attached to it. Fine, because they take time to suck in blood. It takes time, you know, to suck in blood. So as soon as they are filled with blood, they'll just detach themselves from the body of the organism. But till that time, they need something, because it's you know, painful. So when suppose some organism has, it will remove that leech from the body. So in order to avoid it, there are two things. You know, one, that it gives a numb sensation here, and plus it has an anticoagulant hirudin present in it, in the saliva, which does not allow the blood to coagulate during that time period till it is sucking the blood. Now I have written a term here, phlebotomy. What is phlebotomy? Phlebotomy is a technique known as bloodletting. So what is this bloodletting? Herein, in medical treatment, some people who are suffering from tumors from the places where they cannot be surgically removed and they are large in size, leeches are attached to those tumors. They suck in the blood from the tumors and the size of the tumor reduces. Then they are surgically removed. So a medical use of leeches is phlebotomy, wherein bloodletting is done by the use of leeches. So this was about Nereis and leeches. In our next video, we'll start with our next phylum, that is Arthropoda. So keep watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you.